Hi everyone, welcome back to Sadak, the Achievers. So all of you, today we'll be continuing our first chapter of chemistry, that is nothing but atomic structure, right? So in that atomic structure, today we'll be continuing with the lecture number 4. Okay, so in previous lectures, we have completed the subatomic particles, right? So in this part, we have discussed electrons, neutrons, protons and their properties, right? Atomic model part lo manam em discuss chesam. థామ్సన్ మోడల్, రుదర్ఫర్డ్ మోడల్, అవునా? వాటి యొక్క డ్రాబ్యాక్స్ ఏంటివి, ఆ మోడల్స్లో ఉన్న ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఫార్ములాస్ ఏంటివి, అవన్నీ మనం చూసాం, అవునా? సో అండ్ ఇన్ ప్రీవియస్ లెక్చర్ వీ హ్యావ్ స్టార్టెడ్ రైట్ ద బోర్స్ మోడల్, రైట్ ద బోర్స్ మోడల్. ఇన్ ప్రీవియస్ లెక్చర్ వీ హ్యావ్ స్టార్టెడ్ ది బోర్స్ మోడల్. సో మనం ఏమనుకున్నాం, బోర్స్ మోడల్ ఫర్ ది formulation of the postulates of this Bohr model, right? He used the two major scientific developments. So our two major developments entivi. First one is dual nature of, what is that? Dual nature of electromagnetic radiation, avuna? And inkoti second one is atomic spectra. Atomic spectra, right? సో మనం ఏమనుకున్నాం, ఈ టూ ఇంపార్టెంట్ డెవలప్మెంట్స్ అనేవి బోర్కి హెల్ప్ చేశాయి టు ఫార్మ్ హిస్ మోడల్ ఆఫ్ అటామిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్, అవునా? సో ఈ డ్యూయల్ నేచర్లో మనకి ఏమేమి ఉన్నాయి, టూ డ్యూయల్ నేచర్స్. వాట్ ఆర్ ది నేచర్స్, టూ డిఫరెంట్ నేచర్స్ ఆఫ్ ది ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ రేడియేషన్స్, వేవ్ నేచర్, రైట్, అండ్ ది పార్టికల్ నేచర్, అవునా? సో హూ ఎవర్ నాట్ అటెండెడ్ ఆర్ హూ ఎవర్ నాట్ completed the lecture number 3, they can complete that and later they can come to this lecture number 4 so that they can understand this dual nature of electromagnetic radiation with clear idea. Okay, so the continuation of that second part, that is nothing but what is this atomic spectra, right? And how these two helped Mr. Bohr to give his model for an atom. Okay, so that we are going to discuss in today's class. Okay, right. So coming to the atomic spectra, what is this atomic spectra? So before that, light anedi, right, light anedi ippudu edaina oka medium lo travel avutunnappudu, like if it is traveling in air, right, water, or if you have any solid also, or if you can take any glass also, what happens, the speed of this light, okay, the speed of this light, what happens, the speed of this light will differentiate, or the speed of this light will changes depending on the nature of the medium, or if the light is passing from one medium to the another medium, what happens, there will be a change in the speed of this light, avuna? So that is what we have learned the basic things previously, right? So whenever any light, right, passes from any one medium to the another medium, what happens, we are saying that the speed of the light changes. So that speed of the light also results into the change of the frequencies, or we can say frequencies or the wavelengths, or the wavelengths, so wavelengths of this light, right? So whenever we, in previous lecture we have learned that frequency aina gani wavelength, if these two properties are having so many different values, or the magnitudes or the wavelengths of the light is having all the wavelengths, or we say all the frequencies, then we call that as the spectrum kada, avuna? Spectrum ante entidi, if any light or if any radiation has all the frequencies or the wavelengths, then we call it as the spectrum, avuna? So just now we are saying the speed of the light depends on the in which medium it is traveling. So which means if this medium is having a very light density, avuna, very light density, like it is a air, from that air it is traveling into a little more dense, we say that denser medium. సో డెన్సర్ మీడియంలోకి వెళ్తుంది, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, లైట్ ఎయిర్ నుంచి గ్లాస్లోకి వెళ్ళింది అనుకోండి, ఫర్ సపోజ్ ఎయిర్ అండ్ దిస్ ఈస్ గ్లాస్. సో వాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్, సో ద స్పెక్ట్రమ్ దట్ what we are saying, or the light beam or the radiation it will deviate. Without going in this direction, what happens? The light will, or the spectrum will deviate a little bit. Avuna? So the deviation, okay, so that deviation depends on two important things. So if in that spectrum, right, we learned that in spectrum there are many wavelengths, right? Many wavelengths. Avuna? So in that wavelengths, we have the values of that wavelengths also. In previous lecture, third lecture, we have discussed it, right? So if the wavelength, like if the longest wavelength, right, the wavelength which has the longest value will deviate the less, or we say, what I am saying, that the deviation of that wavelength will be less. So deviation or the diffraction or the deflection, we can say. So the deviation will be less. The deviation will be less. So what is the longest wavelength that we have in the spectrum? So what is that light that we know? That is red color, right? The red is our longest wavelength, right? The light of the longest wavelength in the spectrum is red color. So it deviates less, right? And next we have the shortest one. Next we have the shortest one. So what is the shortest one? So when the shortest wavelength spectrum, right, passes from the lighter medium to denser medium, what happens? The deviation of this is maximum, or we can say that it deviates the maximum value. Deviates the maximum angle or the maximum value. So the deviation is max. So what is the example, or we say which is the color in the shortest wavelength? Which color has the shortest wavelength? That we already know. That is nothing but the violet. Avuna? So violet color yokka wavelength chala chinnadi. Ante manakunna spectrum lo shortest wavelength is violet. Avuna? Longest wavelength is having the red color. So this red color will deviate very less, right? And the violet color anedi maximum ga deviate avutundi, right? So the deviations also I will explain you in the next part here. So just now we understood that the light travels from one medium to another medium. There will be a spectrum, right? That spectrum will be having many wavelengths that we have already learned. So the wavelengths will be changing depending on the wavelengths of that spectrum. Deviation అనేది కూడా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఏ పార్ట్ ఆ స్పెక్ట్రంలో ఏ పార్ట్ ఎక్కువ డివియేట్ అయింది, ఏ పార్ట్ తక్కువ డివియేట్ అయింది అనేది కూడా మనకి తెలుస్తుంది. సో ఈ టూ పార్ట్స్, రైట్, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద టూ parts that we have learned, right? This is in the case of light, right? So the light has the longest deviations, shortest deviations. So these two constitutes of wavelengths of different, right? Different wavelengths that we are there. So we called it as a spectrum. Avuna? So this is about the light spectrum. We can easily simply say that this is our light spectrum. So when light is passing in any matter or from one medium to another medium, simple, just one medium to another medium, this is how the light behaves. That is what we have discussed now. So next, if we have, so this spectrum, okay, so whatever the spectrum that we are talking, right, that is the light that we are saying, that is visible to us. That is a visible spectrum, that we can simply say this is our visible spectrum. So this visible spectrum is very small part of our electromagnetic radiation. Avuna? In previous lecture, anyone has any doubts here, you can go, right? I will be giving you the link of this previous lecture in the cards. Please go through that and have a complete idea. So this electromagnetic radiation, in that we have so many different wavelengths, so many different types of the spectrums, right? In that we have the visible spectrum as a smallest part in the electromagnetic radiation, right? Those visible spectrum is a small part of this electromagnetic radiation. Now we are taking as the electromagnetic radiation only, right? Just now I explained you the dual nature of electromagnetic radiation. Avuna? So ఈ dual nature అనేది electromagnetic radiation యొక్క dual nature మనకి how it will be reacting or how it will be changing from one, this is a medium, that example that I said. Now from the matter, like if you are applying this electromagnetic radiation to the matter, and that matter consists of the atoms, right? So how that will be behaving? So in previous lecture we have already discussed that when an electromagnetic radiation, right, when an electromagnetic radiation is interacted with any matter, right, with any matter, so what happens? The matter will acquire the electromagnetic radiation, means the energy from this electromagnetic radiation. Avuna? So this matter will acquire that energy, means that whatever the what consists, what are the parts of this matter? Nothing but the atoms, right? Atoms, or the, simply we can say, molecules. అవునా? సో ఆటమ్స్ అండ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ ఏం చేస్తాయి? ఎలక్ట్రోమాగ్నెటిక్ రేడియేషన్లో ఉన్న ఎనర్జీని అవి గ్రహిస్తాయి. గ్రహించినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? వెన్ ఎవర్ you are applying energy onto any atom, right, what happens? The atom will acquire that energy, and that because of that energy they will get excited. Like whenever you feel happy, right, what you'll do? You'll do so many excited things, right? So same thing happens with these atoms and molecules, right? అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాయి ఇవి atoms and molecules? They will get into the excited state of, right, they will get excited. So this we know that, right, whenever the energy is applied to that atom, they are absorbing that energy and they are getting into a excited state. But excited state lo unde అయిపోతుందా? So if the atom is in excited state, it will not be in a stable condition, right? So అది stable condition లోకి రావాలి కదా, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? So to come back into the stable condition, what happens? These atoms or molecules will lose energy. Avuna? So whatever the energy they absorb from this electromagnetic radiation, that has to be loose. So for that purpose, what happens? These atoms, right, to come back to the stable condition, what they will do? They will lose the energy and come back to the normal condition, or we say stable position. So in these two cases, okay, understand clearly, in these two cases, like coming to the excited stage or coming to the stable state, they are interchanging the energy. That is nothing but the radiation, that we are simply calling it as a radiation. So we are saying that the energy is utilized, or we say absorbed here, absorbed in the first case, and here it is released. Means they are losing that energy, means they are releasing out of them. So in these two cases, the radiation is changing. Radiation is coming out, means the resultant is nothing but the radiation, means there is a change in radiation. So we know that radiation means nothing but the light that we are saying, or we say the spectrum, electromagnetic radiation only. So every atom releases the radiation, and that radiation, whenever we are analyzing it, right, depending on the source, that is nothing but the molecules and the atoms, or the electromagnetic radiation, right, what happens? Depending on the sources that we are saying, the radiation will be different. So how this radiation behaves, okay, how this radiation behaves and forms the spectrums. How they are forming the spectrum? So whatever the radiation that we have, that is nothing but the energy, light energy that we have. So that light energy automatically, whenever interacts with any matter or any atom, what happens? It will form the spectrum. Okay. So this is about the atomic spectrum. Why we are saying this atomic spectrum means, whatever the atom that we are saying here, now we came into the main important heading of our slide here, atomic spectra. So that is that nothing but we are understanding, or we are analyzing this radiation and the spectrum on the atom. So how this atom is causing this spectrum? So how what are the different ways that spectrum can be formed by an atom, that we are going to discuss. Okay, right. So in this here, atomic spectrum that we have discussed. Okay. So I can simply just round it off here. Whatever the spectrum that we have got, right, from the atom and everything, mechanism that I have explained, then that we have two types of atomic spectra. First one is emission and another one is absorption. So what is this emission? Okay, just don't go there here. First, let us just discuss this. What is this emission? Okay, so this emission atomic spectra is nothing but, so whenever one atom is absorbing energy, right, means radiation energy, whatever the electromagnetic radiation that they are absorbed, right? So whenever the absorbed energy, right, absorb the energy, right, so that atom, whatever the atom is absorbing energy, so that atom will acquire the radiation, and because of that radiation, what happens? So that radiation releases, right? So the atom has acquired the radiation, and because of that there will be spectrum. Means the spectrum formed by the radiation absorbed by the atom from the electromagnetic radiation. Understand? So that is nothing but, means simply saying that, now see here, if you have the excited sample, that is nothing but it has acquired some energy from the electromagnetic radiation. Now it is in excited state, right? It is in excited state. Now what happens? It will release energy. So if you are happy, if you are excited, what you will do? If you go into a classroom, you will like lighten up the class and like gola gola చేసేస్తాం కదా క్లాస్ లో అది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఆ కండిషన్ లో ఉన్న atom or a sample, like let us take one atom. So what will do? అది ఎనర్జీని రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది, ఆర్ వి సింప్లీ సే రేడియేషన్ రిలీజ్ చేస్తుంది, రైట్? సో ఆ రేడియేషన్ కాస్త, like if you take a prism here and if you see the deflection of that spectrum, means what are the lines that we are formed, or we say what are the deviations of that spectrum will be behaving, how the spectrum will be behaving, that will be seen here. So if you just take the detector here, right, now the spectrum will be looking like this. Spectrum will be looking like this. So what happening here? See here, the name emission will, you will get the idea about it now. See here. So if you see this picture clearly, you will see that there are so many lines here, right? There are so many lines. We say one layer, after that another color layer, another color layer, like one sheets of one single color sheets are there. Like if you take any color papers and if you join together, right, and keep them in the fashion of like deviated, like this is our red color, right, which deviates the least, right, and this is our blue color which deviates the most, or the violet color which deviates the most, right? So that, like that, if you just plate all the papers, you will see like this deflection here, right? So these lines, or we say the sheets, if you just try to pass it on here and take the 2D diagram of this sheet, whatever the detection sheet that we have, if you observe that here, what happens? So this, in an increasing wavelength side, if you see that this is the wavelength of the smallest one, violet one, so you will see that only the lines will be formed here. Okay, only the lines will be formed here. So what are those lines? That lines are nothing but the spectrum or the light emitted by the atom. Okay, the spectrum emitted by this atom, whatever the wavelengths that emitted from that atom will only be showing here, and whatever the other space that we have which is not emitted by that atom, that will be in a black color, or we say the black spaces, that whole area whichever the wavelengths are not absorbed by this or not emitted by this atom, excited atom, that won't be visible. Only the absorbed wavelengths will be visible here. So that is nothing but the emission spectrum. So the name, whatever the excited sample or excited atom that we have, that atom will emit the wavelengths, only few, or we say selective wavelengths, right? So that spectrum has only the selective wavelengths. Selective wavelength. Now, this this is about the emission spectrum. Okay, so after the emission spectrum, we have the absorption spectrum. So this absorption spectrum is nothing but the photographic negative, right? We have learned that photographic negative means what? The photographic negative of the emission spectrum. అర్థమైందా? ఫోటోగ్రాఫిక్ నెగిటివ్, మన ఫొటోస్ యొక్క నెగిటివ్స్ ఉండేవి కదా పాతకాలంలో. ఇప్పుడు అంటే మొత్తం డిజిటల్ అయిపోయి అందరూ డిజిటల్ కెమెరాస్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి many of you doesn't know this what is photographic negative, right? So that photographic negative is nothing but, if I can explain you the mechanism of that photographic negatives, that will be something, if you have a photo like this, right, and if you have a person, right, so whatever the space occupied by you, right, is there, so that will be blank in color, and whatever the borders that we have, that will be having some different wavelengths. Okay, so the space, so same way, if you take that, so this is our spectrum, so this is our total spectrum. In that, the bright lines are nothing but the, we say, the emission spectrum's photographic nature will be what? So whatever the lines that we have, that will be blank color, and whatever the different that we have, depending on the wavelengths, it will have the different colors in that spaces. So whatever the wavelengths was not absorbed or emitted by this atom, that will be shown in the absorption spectrum. Means it has absorbed the spectrum. Whatever the absorbed energy or the radiation has there, right, by the atom, that will be shown in the absorption spectrum, and whatever the energy or the radiation is emitted by that atom, that will be shown by this emission spectrum. So if you can see that this spectrum, absorption spectrum and emission spectrum, these are not the continuous spectra. These are not the continuous spectra. Remember that. Okay, so this photographic negative of this emission spectrum is nothing but the absorption spectrum. So these are the two types of simple spectrum that we can understand. Okay, and I have just explained the point, another point, that is nothing but these two spectras are not continuous spectras, not continuous spectras. అవునా? ఇవి రెండు కంటిన్యూస్ కాదు. What do you mean by this continuous spectra? So I will just explain you that we know whenever any light, right, the white light passes, right, in a, like on a water droplet, right, on a water droplets, and what happens, we'll see the formation of the rainbow, right? If you have observed that rainbow, most of the times you may not be able to, right, distinguish what are the different colors are there. Like we have 7 colors in a rainbow, right? But most of the cases you will not recognize all the colors. Why? Because of the rainbow is a continuous spectra, right? So whatever the light that we have understood and the visible spectrum that we are saying, right, so that is a continuous spectra. But the absorption spectra and the emission spectra, both are not the continuous spectras. So how this line that we are calling is a continuous spectra? Let us see that. So if you take the rainbow, so what are the colors of the rainbow or the visible spectrum that we have? VIBGYOR, అవునా? సో ఈ 7 కలర్స్ మనకు ఉన్నాయి కదా రెయిన్బోలో. సో in these 7 colors, if you can observe in the rainbow, you may not be you won't be able to distinguish most of the colors here. Why? Because each and every color, right, if you take the blue color here, so each and every color will be merged into the adjacent colors. And if you take green, that will merge a little bit into blue, and this green also will merge a little bit with yellow, right? So this VIBGYOR, that is nothing but the spectrum, light spectrum, right, that we have, right, visible spectrum. Right, so in this visible spectrum we have the VIBGYORs. So in each and every wavelengths, or we say colors, here we are getting, right? So each and every color here, if I can write it here, each color right, merges with adjacent color. So that is why what happens, we'll see that all the colors are very close to each other or they merged into each other. Because of that, the spectrum, whatever the spectrum that we see here, right, in the visible spectrum, that is a continuous spectrum. Continuous spectrum. Okay, so this is about the continuous spectrum. So these two are the not continuous because we are able to distinguish them, right? This spectrum is visible in this fashion. Means if you keenly observe that, you will see that line formations of these colors are there. Means there are lines formed in this spectrum. Okay, so that gives us the line emission spectrum or the line absorption spectrum. Both are same, right? So this line emission spectrum, right? So in this line emission spectrum, if you can understand that just now we have discussed that this emission spectra, right? The line emission spectra or just emission spectra, absorption and emission, right? The spectrum that we have, emission spectrum, right? So the emission and absorption. Absorption spectra. Right? So the study of this emission and absorption spectra is called as the spectroscopy. What is that? Spectroscopy. Spectroscopy. So this is nothing but the study of the spectrum, that is nothing but the spectroscopy. So this spectroscopy has the emission absorption spectra and the absorption spectra, right? So just now we have discussed that the light spectra, right, nothing but the light spectrum is a continuous spectrum, right? The light spectrum is a continuous spectrum. అవునా, లైట్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్ అనేది కంటిన్యూస్ అని మనం ఇందాకే చూసాం, రైట్? And now the spectrum of these atoms, right? This is about the light spectrum. Then the spectrum of the atoms, right? For example, for suppose the initial stages we only concentrated on the atoms which are in gaseous states, right? So let us take the gaseous atoms. Gaseous atoms spectrum, right? Gaseous atom spectrum, right? In that especially I am taking the hydrogen for the easy understanding. So this spectra is, just now I explained you, that is this is not continuous. Avuna? Not continuous, right? So this is not continuous. So light spectra అనేది continuous, but gaseous atoms or the spectra of the atoms is not continuous. So this is not continuous, and just now I explained you that these are forming the lines in the spectrum, right? These are forming the lines in the spectrum, which means they are releasing or they are absorbing the discrete frequencies. అవునా, అంటే స్పెషల్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ, అంటే ఓన్లీ సెలెక్టెడ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీస్ని అవి అబ్జార్బ్ చేస్తున్నాయి ఆర్ ఎమిట్ చేస్తున్నాయి. అవునా, సో these are having, like if you can write that discrete frequencies or the wavelengths. Avuna, frequencies are the wavelengths, and these discrete frequencies are wavelengths in the form of lines in the spectrum. Lines in the spectrum. Okay, so this spectrum is in the lines form, right? So that's why the spectrum of these gaseous atoms or the molecules is named as the line spectrum. Line spectrum, or another name for this, the spectrum is of atoms, right? So that's why it has another name also, that is atomic spectrum. Atomic spectrum. అర్థమైందా? సో ఆటమ్ యొక్క స్పెక్ట్రమ్ కాబట్టి అటామిక్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్, ఆర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫార్మింగ్ ద లైన్స్, అంటే ఆ స్పెక్ట్రమ్లోని లైన్సే ఉన్నాయి, కంటిన్యూస్గా లేదు కాబట్టి లైన్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్ అని చెప్పేసి 2 నేమ్స్ దీనికి పెట్టాం మనం. సో ద స్పెక్ట్రమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఆటమ్స్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ లైన్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్ హ్యాస్ సో మచ్, లైక్ వి సే, ద గ్రేట్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఇన్ giving us the best atomic structure. It helped us a lot. Okay, it helped us a lot. So for example, if I can take the line spectrum, this line spectrum helped us to the great extent. Okay, to the great extent in finalizing or to give the atomic structure. Atomic structure. Sir, how? అటామిక్ స్ట్రక్చర్కి ఈ లైన్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్కి సంబంధం ఏంటి సార్ అనొచ్చు మీరు, రైట్? సో సింపుల్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఏంటంటే, ఆటమ్స్ అనేవి లైన్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్స్ ఇస్తున్నాయి కదా, మీన్స్ ద ఆటమ్స్ అనేవి లైన్ స్పెక్ట్రమ్ని ఫామ్ చేస్తున్నాయి. సో దాంట్లో డిఫరెంట్ లైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇంపార్టెంట్ థింగ్, each and every atom of the molecules, okay, whatever the molecules that we are having, right, these atoms have the separate spectrum lines. So the spectral lines of each atom is discrete, or we say it has the, we can say each atom has the discrete spectral lines. Discrete spectral lines. Ante, for example, I can take the fingerprints of our humans, right? Every human being has the, we say every human being has the discrete spectral lines. అవునా? అంటే ఒకరికి ఉన్న ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ ఇంకా ఎవరికి ఉండవు, అవునా? సో సేమ్ వే ఒక ఆటమ్ రిలీజ్ చేసిన స్పెక్ట్రల్ లైన్స్ ఇంకో ఆటమ్ రిలీజ్ చేయదు, రైట్? లైక్ ది హ్యూమన్ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్. Okay, so because of this discrete nature of the spectral lines of the atoms, that by that formation of the different, or see, different spectral lines, we can distinguish between the atoms, right? ఏ atom యొక్క స్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ టేకెన్ ది హైడ్రోజన్ ఆటమ్, రైట్, అండ్ దాని యొక్క స్పెక్ట్రల్ లైన్స్, ఇఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దాని యొక్క స్పెక్ట్రల్ లైన్స్ ఇలా ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి, రైట్, ఇలా ఫామ్ చేసింది అనుకోండి, సేమ్. సో ఇదే గ్యాప్ తోటి ఇలాగే స్పెక్ట్రల్ లైన్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎనీ, లైక్ యూ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్ వన్, you have gone into the study of some part, some matter there, so you don't know what is the atom of that matter, right? So what you will do, you will take that one atom and you will try to perform this spectral line formations. Then what happens, if you get the same amount or same line spectrum, then you can be sure about that whatever the matter has, that matter is constituent of the hydrogen atom. Like that, these spectral lines helped us to give the atomic structures, right? So this is about the line emission spectra. So now if you come into the hydrogen spectra, okay, so the hydrogen spectra, how the hydrogen spectra formed. So if you take the electrical dissociation, that is nothing but the electrolysis process that you can take, right? So what I am doing, electrical dissociation. Because of this electrical dissociation, right, what happens here? So this hydrogen gas molecule I am taking, what I am taking, I am taking the hydrogen gas and I'm applying electricity to it, right? Into the hydrogen gas, I am applying the electricity. So this, because of this electricity, what happens? This hydrogen gas will, what will do? It will get dissociated. అవునా? డిసోసియేట్ అవుతుంది అంటే రెండు పార్ట్స్గా విడిపోతుంది. Because of that dissociation, what happens? This hydrogen molecule will change into the hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions. Ions are nothing but the charged particles, or the excited atoms of hydrogen molecules are formed, right? Because of the excited hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions. What they will do? They will cause the radiation. Na? Radiation వస్తుందా లేదా? So because of that radiation, there will be a spectrum, right? So because of that spectrum, so how the spectrum is? So the spectrum is in the same line form. So that spectrum is nothing but the line spectrum. That spectrum is in the line form. So the study of this hydrogen spectrum, that is nothing but the study of the line spectrum of hydrogen atom, right, performed by many scientists, right? One of them is Balmer. So he gave us the series, means he named the lines of that hydrogen atom into the series. So what he said, the whatever the lines that are formed in that spectrum, right, in terms of the wavelengths of that lines, in terms of the wavelengths, sorry, in terms of the wave numbers of that, right? So what is that? Wavelengths. If you know the wavelengths, we know the wave numbers, right? So in terms of the wave numbers, what he did, he named those lines with different names, right? So he formed a series, okay? He formed a series, right, of the lines, and we call them as the Balmer series. We call them as the Balmer series. So by his experiments, okay, he said that, so the line, each and every line of the spectrum follows, or we say obeys, right? This will obeys, and these lines are of visible lines, means whatever the lines that we are talking, or the names that he is saying, or the condition that he applied, the wave numbers, these are for only the visible lines in the spectrum. Whatever the visible spectrum that is, means whatever the spectrum that we have, in that there will be some lines visible, right? So the lines in the line spectrum of hydrogen gas, he named as the visible lines, right? And these lines will obey the, okay, this will obey the condition. So he said that this wave number, okay, is equals to 109677, okay, into 1 by n (1 by 2 square minus 1 by n square centimeter per centimeter. So the wave numbers of this Balmer series are follows or obeys this formula. So here you can see that the n, okay, so whatever the n that we have, this n is nothing but the Balmer series line numbers, okay. This n is the n is the line numbers, right? And if you can observe this, if we have 2 here, this 2 is a baseline. So whatever the spectral lines that you will see in the hydrogen atom, that starts after the 3, right, means that n number should be greater than or equal to 3 only, such as 3, 4, 5, so on, like this. Means, so the spectral lines follows the or obeys the numbers, or we say lines obeys this formula or this condition only when the n number is greater than or equals to 3. Means the n value should be greater than or equals to 3. Means what happening here? So if you say that this n is nothing but the line numbers, right? So where the atom is changing from its excited state to the normal state, or we say higher low energy to the lower energy. Means any atom, right? We know that any atom, if it is going to excited state, means higher energy state, right? And if it is coming to the lower energy state also, what happens? Lower energy state. So either of the conditions, what happens? There will be a radiation, right? So this n indicates the energy level or the energy state of the atom. So in which energy state it is there. So depending on that energy state, right, that what is the condition of this atom, means how the wave number is changing, how the lines are the formed, that can be explained by this Balmer series. Okay, so after that Balmer series, what happened? The scientist named Johannes Rydberg. So what he did? He gave a condition where whatever the series, he also named the series, means he named the line spectrum of the hydrogen atom, right? So he said that these lines, not just the visible lines of that spectrum, but all the lines of spectrum or the line spectrum. All the lines of this line spectrum, right? He named them. Okay, he named those all the lines of the line spectrum as, by using the same Balmer formula. He said that depending on the same wave number, okay, so that will be V bar equals to, that will be V bar equals to 109,677, okay, into same 1 by n1 square minus 1 by n2 square centimeter per centimeter, right? He said that is n1 and n2, okay, right? So he said that all the lines obeys this line spectrum, right? All the lines, not just the visible lines, the not visible lines as well as the visible lines, right? By the Johannes Rydberg. He gave this formula where he has just changed that n1 square minus 1 by n2 square. So here if you can apply that, right, here this n1 starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? He said that this n1 value will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the n2 value will be, right, that will be n1 plus 1, n1 plus 2 and n1 plus 3, like this, go on, so on. So whatever the n1 value that we have, if it is n1 value is 2, then n2 value will be n1 plus 2, that will be 3, right? So depending on this formula, right, he has explained the different line series, right, spectral line series. First one is Lehman series, Balmer series, Paschen series, Brackett series and Pfund series, right? So if you can observe that n1 values are from just 1 to 5 only. The n1 values are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. And how these n2 values are starting? So if you can see that these n2 values are n1 plus 1, n2 plus 2, n2 plus 3, so on. Okay, So these N2 values are like this. So if you can see that this is N1, right, only 5, and this is N2, that is, see here, when N1 is 1, N2 is N1 plus 1, that is 2, right? Next number is N1 plus 2. How much N1? 1. 1 plus 2, 3. And 1 plus 3, 4, like that, 2, 3, 4. So if you can see that all the series S, right, follows this N1 and N2 form. So if you see that the spectral regions, that is important one in questions that you will be getting, that series, right, whenever Lehman series means this Lehman series, all the numbers N1 and N2, right, follows in the ultraviolet region of the spectral, right, whatever the spectrum that we have, electromagnetic radiation spectrum that we have seen. So this Lehman series follows the ultraviolet region, right, and the Balmer series that follows in the visible region, and the Paschen series that is in infrared, right, bracket also in infrared, right, and the Pfund also in infrared. So the number lines, depending on the number lines, the spectral formed in the atom, by the atom, right, the line spectrum formed by these atoms, depending on the numbers, in which region they follow or in which region they fall, that can be easily remembered by this. Okay, so that is important for the, what if we are getting the number lines, after that we'll getting the lambda, or we say the wavelength of that. We know the wave number, from there we can find the wavelength, yes or no, right? We know that wave number is nothing but the inverse of the wavelength. So from there, if we can find the wavelength, then we can easily say that which spectral region it is, right? So that spectral region, most of the, like Lehman series, all the, if we say that it, if any atom is having a number lines, or we say the lines or spectral lines which falls in the Lehman, then we say those lines will be in the ultraviolet region only. Okay, wavelength, by that also we can conclude. But if you can remember that in the objective questions, that it will be easy for you, but in subjective you have to find that wavelength, and by that you have to convey which region the lines are forming, right? So this is about the Johannes Rydberg's line series. Okay, right? And just now we have discussed that how this atomic structure is able to explain by the, on the dependence of this line spectrum, right? So this line spectrum, the study of this line spectrum, right, the study of this line spectrum, the first scientist to study this line spectrum, and depending on this line spectrum, who studied the atoms or the structures of the atoms, is nothing but the scientist name Bunsen. Okay, so he studied that depending on the line spectrum formed by these atoms, okay, he was the first scientist among the many scientists. He was the first scientist to study the line spectrum and differentiate the atoms. We have differentiated the atoms such as the gallium, thallium, right, scandium, right, and rubidium. These all the atoms have been discovered, or we say distinguished, by the help of this line spectrum. And we know that the atoms, for example, I can say that this line emission spectrum helped us to find the helium gas which is present in the sun's atmosphere, right? So the discovery of this helium, on sun, on the sun's atmosphere, is by the technique that we discussed already, spectroscopy. By using the spectroscopy, we have discovered the helium gas present in the sun's atmosphere. Okay, so that is the one point. Okay, so after the Johannes Rydberg, right, he has differentiated this number of lines of this line spectrum of hydrogen atom, right? Now I can say that the line spectrum of these hydrogen atoms, okay, whatever the lines formed by this hydrogen atom, it is very, right, this line spectrum is simple, very simple, means we can easily understand it. The spectral lines are very simple to understand or to analyze them. Okay, right? But all the atoms, right? This is hydrogen. This is hydrogen gas. So it has a very simple line spectrum, but all the other atoms or all the other molecules are not simple. These are very complex. These are very complex line spectrum are forming. Okay, so if we can just go into all the important, or we say the spectral lines of all the atoms and everything, we can say that depending on all the atom, or we say, or depending on all the molecular line spectrums, we can conclude two important, or we say two common points are there between the line spectrums of each and every molecule or each and every atom. That is, these line spectrums, okay, these line spectrum is unique. Okay, this is unique for each atom. It is unique for each atom, right? So that is one common point. And another one is this line spectrum. So here, whatever the spectral line formula that he has given, right? So this part, okay. So 109,667, okay. So per centimeter is called as the Rydberg's constant. Called as the Rydberg's constant. Okay, so by this Rydberg constant, he has said that each and every spectral lines will follow or have this part, but he has taken the constant value here. Okay, this is named as the Rydberg's constant here. Okay, so this is our today's lecture, as it is already a bit late, so we'll be continuing from here in the next lecture. Okay, everyone, right? So the today's quote is, a little progress each day adds up to a big result. So if you want a big result, like if you want a very good rank in your MCET exam, start doing this little thing. That is nothing but the little progress that we are saying. Daily little thing, daily 1 hour on each subject, that you will get the big result. Okay, so maintain this little progress each day. Every day is very important. Okay, so that little progress every day will give you the big result for sure. All of you, I hope you are solving the DPPs, right? And you're also practicing the previous year questions, right? And whoever didn't attended the previous lectures, they can check our description. You will be finding that, and you can subscribe our YouTube channel. Okay, please subscribe so that you will be getting all the lectures on time, as well as whatever the bell icon that you have, right? In that, before that, try to click on it so that you will get all the notifications whenever our new lecture will be uploaded. Okay, all of you, I hope you will utilize our program here. So whatever the course that we are providing, keep studying and happy learning. So if you keep on studying, the learning will be happy, because each day a little progress will ultimately make you happy because of the continuation. So thank you once again, all of you. See you in the next lecture.